The legend of the mimosa flower. Once upon a time, on a radiant island blessed with endless sunshine and surrounded by the deep blue sea, there lived a young couple whose love was as boundless as the ocean itself. The young man, the son of a humble fisherman, was strong, with a muscular build and sun-kissed skin that glistened under the coastal rays. He was not only physically impressive but also incredibly intelligent, with a sharp wit that matched his powerful frame. The woman, on the other hand, was the beloved daughter of a noble family, a beauty that radiated like the sun at dawn. Her features were delicate, her manner regal, and her heart as kind and pure as the azure skies above their island home. She was the embodiment of grace and compassion, loved by all who knew her. Despite their different social standings, the two had found each other, and their love blossomed like the flowers that adorned the cliffs by the sea. They would meet secretly along the shores, beneath the stars, where the waves whispered sweet nothings that mirrored their own affections. Their love grew with each passing day, like a steady flame that nothing could extinguish. But as with all stories of passion, theirs was not without its trials. The woman's family, proud and bound by tradition, had already arranged her future. She was to be married to a wealthy duke, a man of high royal status. Her heart, however, belonged to the fisherman's son, and no amount of wealth or title could sway her love. When the young man learned of the arrangement, his heart shattered. The weight of losing his beloved was too much to bear. He could not stand the thought of seeing her with another, nor could he find solace in the life he once knew. The sea, once his sanctuary, had become a place of unbearable memories. The sunlit waves, the salt-kissed air, everything reminded him of her. So, he left. He abandoned his life as a fisherman, forsaking the sea that had nurtured him, and ventured far into the rugged, untamed wilderness of the high mountains. There, among the dense forests and towering cliffs, he sought refuge from the heartache that consumed him. He took up a new life as a forest warden, hoping the solitude would help him forget the love that now seemed like a distant dream. But fate, it seemed, had different plans. Shortly after the young man arrived in the mountains, a great forest fire broke out. The flames raged through the dense woods, swallowing everything in their path. The fire spread quickly, threatening not only the trees but also the wildlife that called the forest home, particularly the kangaroos, who were unable to escape the inferno. Without a second thought, the young man threw himself into the battle against the flames. With nothing but his bare hands and sheer determination, he fought to save the forest and the helpless creatures trapped within it. His strength and courage were unmatched, but even the bravest heart cannot always withstand the cruelty of fate. The fire raged on, and though he managed to save many lives, the flames eventually overcame him. Exhausted and weakened, he collapsed amidst the blaze, his body scorched by the relentless heat. The fire, merciless and unforgiving, claimed him, and he perished there among the ashes of the very forest he had tried so desperately to protect. Meanwhile, back on the coast, the young woman was preparing for her wedding day. Her heart was heavy, weighed down by the thought of a life without the man she truly loved. The noble dresses, the opulent ceremony, it all felt hollow. She knew she could never love the Duke the way she loved the fisherman's son. On the night of her wedding, with her heart in turmoil, she learned that her beloved had left the city and ventured into the wilderness, seeking to forget her. The news was a dagger to her soul. She could not bear the thought of him suffering alone in the mountains, heartbroken and lost. So, without hesitation, she fled. In the dead of night, she escaped from the confines of her gilded life and made her way to the forest, driven by the hope that she could find him and tell him that her love for him had never wavered. She traveled for days, her journey long and arduous, but her determination was unshakable. When at last she arrived in the mountains, her heart broke anew. She found him, but not as she had hoped. His body lay lifeless, scorched by the fire that had ravaged the forest. His hands, once strong and full of life, were now cold and still. The sight of him, the man she had loved so deeply, lying amidst the ashes, was more than she could bear. With a heart full of grief, she collapsed beside him, her tears falling onto the charred earth. She held his lifeless hand in hers, and with her last breath, she whispered his name. Overcome by sorrow, she, too, perished there, beside the man she loved more than life itself. In the days that followed, something extraordinary happened. From the ashes of the fire, in the very spot where the young lovers had died, a new kind of plant began to grow. It was unlike anything anyone had ever seen before. The plant was slender and graceful, with leaves of the most brilliant green. And then, one day, it bloomed. Bright yellow flowers, soft and fragrant, adorned the branches. The flowers seemed to glow with a golden light, as if they had captured the warmth of the sun itself. The people of the region, upon discovering the beautiful new plant, were amazed. They named the flower Mimosa, in honor of the love that had been lost and the devotion that had transcended even death. From that day forward, the mimosa flower became a symbol of eternal love and unwavering fidelity. Couples would exchange mimosa blossoms as a promise of their undying affection, a reminder that true love endures, no matter the obstacles that may come. The flower, delicate yet resilient, carried with it the memory of the two lovers who had given everything for each other. To this day, the mimosa grows high in the mountains, where the fisherman's son and the noble daughter had perished. It thrives in the harshest of conditions, a testament to the enduring power of love. The end.